Okay.
All right. Good evening, everybody. It's 9:30 on Monday, six on the East Coast, 6:30 p.m. in California, where James is. It's time for the weekly Calamity Jane live stream. James, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing great. I hope you are well.
I am. As you can see, I'm wearing my fingerless gloves for typing. It has
Okay.
gotten really cold over here all of a sudden, but just for like a day or
Huh.
two.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
is that typical for Georgia to get cold around with winter months, traditional winter months in the U.S. here? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. Weather in Georgia is really schizophrenic in October, November, and December, and then it
oh,
just decides that it's going to be really cold come January. But yeah, for those 3 months, it's like cold, warm, cold, warm, cold, warm. Most Christmases in Georgia are like 70 degrees.
mm, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
So right now it's cold, but it won't stay that way.
well, here in LA, as you know from living here, it's pretty much the
Hmm.
exact same.
Yeah,
So, which is
it's LA.
yeah. So that part's great. I have no complaints at all.
Yeah.
Um, I want to let you know for tonight that I am using I have a Wi-Fi extender slash repeater.
Mm.
So I hooked that up tonight because of last week. I think I kind of it seemed like we were having a couple of hitches and glitches here and there,
Hmm.
internet wise, and I was thinking it was on my end. So now I have extended my internet connection using this extender to see if it'll help tonight.
All right. Good to know. Good to know. So what are we working on
I was
today?
so I was so tempted to just kind of
And just like
do that
just
and,
pull it.
and then
Yeah,
like
right.
make you yeah, I was so tempted to, but yeah, it's a really terrible joke. But yeah, as far as what we're working on tonight, I am going to resume again Wanda and Molly. So I will do the share screen deal.
Sounds good. You should be good to go on that front.
Okay, and we'll go right back into it. So I think definitely the news worth talking about is your Nintendo Switch
Oh yeah.
update.
Yeah, I got the word today that it's coming back my way, and by the weird sort of somewhat I don't know. Maybe they could be sending me the same one back, but I think that there's a chance they're sending me just a totally new Switch because I got two separate emails today talking about having to reset up my Switch account, my eShop account, re-download my Animal Crossing save file, all of this stuff that if they were just swapping out a USB port on the existing hardware should not be necessary. But who knows? Maybe they do some sort of esoteric diagnostics that requires just resetting the system back to a default state. So I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Here, like, so when you were when this initially happened, you sent it off. I mean, you and I were talking offline about how I was kind of hoping that you would end up with a new unit and or refurbished unit with new
Yeah.
hardware and stuff like that because you were having complaints about the Wi-Fi coverage on top of the actual reason why you sent it in. So I don't know. I am pretty excited at the prospect that you might be getting a relatively brand new Switch to you,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
means new hardware and stuff. So
Yeah. I mean, it would be
um,
nice to not, uh, or to be able to drive my Mario Kart remote control car more than, 10 feet away from me. Especially when you watch videos like the WWE racing a cart all the way around a wrestling rink and it doesn't drop below 2 bars. You're like, something is not right here. Something is
I
seriously
kind of have this
wrong.
visual. I have this visual where your experience of Mario Kart is pretty much a workout where you're chasing after your
Yeah, just
car,
like running after
staying
trying
behind
to
the
chase
feet.
the bars. Yeah,
So it could be a good workout in some ways. So I mean, they could turn into Mario Kart circuit workout or something. I mean, if
that's
they really
true.
wanted to,
That's not a bad
or play
idea.
on the
Maybe they do. Like
yeah,
chase your own cart while also trying to race it. It's like a whole new dimension of difficulty.
yeah. So, but yeah, so
But
that's pretty exciting though. I mean, in general,
yeah,
you potentially getting that. So it sounds like you'll be able to do more discussion on your Switch now in the next week or so, hopefully,
well,
with shipping.
it's good, especially given that I'm starting work on the next issue of my Fortnite magazine at some point here in the near future, whenever the new season starts. I don't remember off the top of my head, and I always use my Switch when I'm doing research because I can just have it sitting next to me while I'm writing. And so, like, if there's something I need to reference, I can just pick it right up and just play it right away rather than having to have it run
Okay.
in the background on my PC. It's just way more convenient to use my Switch.
So if
So,
you're playing Fortnite, do you have like I know only the basic idea of the game. I mean,
yeah.
it's a third person hero type shooter, right? Like all the characters in there all have their unique abilities and you can use them against other people. Is that kind of how it is in Fortnite?
No, no, all of the
Or
characters are generic avatars. There's no special
okay,
abilities as a general rule. They're doing some weird stuff with the Marvel crossover this season, but generally speaking,
okay.
it's only cosmetic differences between the different skins.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All
Yeah.
right. So there's nothing else to unlock in the game. So if you have just a standard skin, then you have the pretty much the exact same skill set as anybody else. You don't have to buy anything or unlock something through skill or gameplay to make your character better and play and have more competitive edge.
Yeah.
None of that comes into play.
That's the
Hmm.
idea, right? Is that um, everything that they monetize on Fortnite is designed to be cosmetic. Now, there are always unintended things like a particular color palette of a character will make it stand out against a background in a certain, position on the map, or they've found ways, players have found ways to exploit other things that were intended to be cosmetic because players are really good at exploiting things.
Hmm.
But yeah, by design at least, by intent rather, the goal is to um, make everything ambivalent, at least in terms of its impact on gameplay.
Okay.
So what are you
So with
working on here?
I am actually just kind of working on this, just thinking about her structurally,
Mm-hmm.
how I'm building her.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of putting my own little. I kind of did this before. I'm putting a skeletal cage on her, sort of in my
Mm-hmm.
mind, just
Mm-hmm.
to make sure. I'm just cross checking some things because her general because of her shirt's so flowy,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of get lost in the shape. So I'm
Mm.
just kind of putting a roadmap for me, so I can kind of understand uh, anatomically where stuff's at.
That makes
So that's all
sense.
I'm doing.
Yeah, I was gonna actually follow up, and Molly's taken a little bit longer to come together than Wanda did. Um,
Yeah, it's funny how yeah, it's funny how some characters, and it could be just maybe it's depending on the artist, but or I mean, some artists are just blazingly fast that are better than me that can just blast this out
yeah.
much quicker. But
Meh.
for me, at least for me, some characters are just like I can blink and they're done. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm just lucky with that, and some do take a little bit more time and thought. So definitely, uh, Molly's doing that to me here. I mean, I'm just thinking a lot about her, which is kind of from a production standpoint, we're not stressed about a budget, but
Right.
if I had a budget, we would have been moved down by now, and I would have been cutting a lot of corners. But
Right.
since
Right.
we're doing a walk in the park, so I want to spend time and make sure she's kind of done right.
That makes sense. That
So
makes sense. So you'll know. So audiences will know we have a budget because our character design gets worse.
well, yeah, well, hopefully, I would think we would have if we ever had a budget and we had character people, they'd be, it would. I think we'd be fine, but
You say that
that's
now.
me.
I can.
I'm being optimistic. But
I'm already imagining YouTube going, like YouTube videos. This is the exact moment when Calamity Jane sold out.
oh yeah, that's probably true. Actually, I mean, no, but the good thing is we don't have to worry about selling out yet. We're still kind of doing garage style,
That's
so
right.
it's
That's
fine.
right. That's right.
All
Exactly
good.
right. Yeah. We're still like our pipe dream long term goal is still to sell out. We're still we haven't
Oh
gotten to the
yeah,
sellout phase yet. We're working on it.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, so
Um,
far, so I think in general she's coming along now. I mean, and
mhm.
like I said, I'm just sort of being nitpicky about some stuff. Really, what's left of her is her face, which I'll be getting to here probably within the next few minutes. I think,
Mhm.
but yeah,
So, but in any case, yeah, I got distracted there, wondering what you were up to. You were. Do you
Yeah,
remember?
when I throw bloody ugly lines all of a sudden onto a character, I mean that could be construed. I'm glad you said something because it could be construed as what? Are you doing violence
Yeah.
now?
What's
What's going
going
on?
on
So
here? Yeah.
yeah, it's good that you preface. You know, you. I'm glad you're here to ask that question and not have the wrong ideas out there.
um, but in any case, now I'm just distracted
Back,
by that skeleton, the red skeleton. It is just right after
back
Halloween. I mean, maybe we're doing a belated Halloween thing here. I don't know.
that's true. That's true.
You
That's a good
were
idea though. We could do a theme Halloween episode stream. I didn't think well, obviously hindsight's
oh,
2020, but we could have done that, and I didn't think about it like a character that lends itself to Halloweeny
that's true.
themes, I
That's true.
guess.
But we're past
Ah,
it at this point. We're beyond it.
yeah, yeah. So
Um,
we'll do Thanksgiving. We'll do Turkey Day something or something. I don't
yeah,
know.
maybe
We'll
we
do
will.
something.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So,
Um,
but yeah, so the having the switch back by the time my Fortnite magazine starts, that'll be nice. If only just because
so
I legitimately use it for work. Like,
um, are you're so you already know? I'm assuming I'm making this assumption here, but I'm a huge fan of No More Heroes.
yeah,
So No More Heroes 1 and 2 are now out on the Switch, and then
yep.
you're a huge fan. Are you a huge fan of No More Heroes? Are you neutral, or like you play it and you're like good with you're fine with it? Like where
I
are you at with
enjoyed
it?
both games a great deal. I
Okay.
think Suda 51 is a bit of a hit or miss, but I think for me at least, No More Heroes 1 and 2 were great. I actually like No More Heroes 2 more than 1, frankly.
It's funny. I think I kind of go back and forth on them. I like No More Heroes 2 because it felt like the weapon variety was a little bit more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like the mini games, I don't know, I was mixed because the mini games were fun, but there was something felt detached to No More Heroes 2 in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I was right down. I like them both,
No,
but
I
for
enjoyed
I
both
it
games.
just
I'm really looking forward
yeah.
to um, just to 3. I'm still optimistic about 3, despite the misfire with that weird overhead game that they did, where the premise was is that he was trapped inside of a video game. I like the
Oh
idea of them poking fun at video game culture, but I think the game itself just wasn't fun. Like I just did not enjoy the game at all.
yeah. I would consider myself somewhat of a Suda 51 fanboy. That
Mm-hmm.
was probably the first but I have not played Lollipop Chainsaw,
Mm-hmm.
and I have not played that game. So I did play Shadows of the Damned. I
Mm-hmm.
loved it. That was a great game. Underrated. I think it sort of just floated under the radar. A lot of people kind of just didn't think much of it. I thought it was a really fun game. It had all the quirky humor you'd expect from
Yeah.
Suda 51 and Grasshopper Manufacturer, I guess, at this point. But yeah, I've never played Travis Strikes Again. Is that what it's called? Travis Strikes
I
Again?
think that's what it's called, and it's just an
Yeah.
overhead take on No More Heroes. I mean, the at a basic level, the gameplay is largely the same, um, but it just wasn't fun. I don't know. I I could get into like really nitty gritty details of why the game just did not work on the in the same way that No More Heroes worked, but I thought it was funny. Like I enjoyed the story and I enjoyed the send up um, of video game culture. And it from a storyline standpoint, it's pretty important because characters from No More Heroes 1 show up again, and you get some resolution to a few characters who kind of mysteriously disappeared at the end of the first game or the second game. Um, but yeah, it was not fun to play. Like the controls were really sloppy and unrefined, and they didn't do a good job of hit detection on enemies or hit feedback. So combat
What?
felt really loose and insecure is a really good word that pops into my head. Like you just really felt
Huh.
insecure in every enemy combat. Like it just felt random. It didn't feel intentional. Like a combat game like that should feel.
Huh.
So
So, was Grasshopper Manufacturer the makers of the game, or did they play the role of producer and then they farmed it out to somebody else? Do you
I
think that's
don't. I
where?
know Suda 51 was it. Was this wasn't like a thing that he farmed out and just let someone put his name on. He worked on it. Whether
Okay,
Grasshopper did the development or not, I don't know. But Suda 51 absolutely was involved in the production.
okay.
Yeah.
And Grasshopper Manufacturer and Suda 51, are they one and the same, or are they actually? I mean, like that's his company, right?
You
But
know,
then
I
so like
actually
you'll see
don't
his name
know.
credited.
I actually don't know if it's his company or what actually. Like if he's an
Okay.
employee or if he owns it. Yeah. So
Yeah. Because it feels like at least based on No More Heroes 1 and 2 and Shadows of Dam, all the controls were pretty tight. They were
yeah.
solid. They were fun to play.
Oh yeah.
I didn't have any issues. I can't recall having any bugs in those games really, for the most part.
Yeah. No, they were solid games. I mean, the biggest flaw with No More Heroes 1 was the performance. The
Yeah,
when you were out and about in that like anemic overworld map, it was
yeah, it was
just.
pretty bad.
I'm super glad that they got rid of it for No More Heroes 2. I personally didn't feel like it actually enhanced the first game at all, and I didn't miss it when it was gone. But
Hmm.
that's just me. But so in any case,
So, so are you telling me that this let's call it Travis Strikes Again? I think that's what it's called,
I
Travis
believe
Strikes
that's what it
Again.
is. Yeah,
Uh, I'm just gonna look. Let's see, Travis Strikes Again.
I can look it up too. But yeah, that's the
And
one.
yeah, okay, yeah. So, is it worth playing? Is it a thumbs
I
up or a
don't think it's
thumbs
worth. I
down?
don't think it's worth playing. I think you're better
Or
served just getting on YouTube and watching the cutscenes.
okay,
Because I didn't find the game to be all that entertaining, and the yeah, yeah, and the boss battles weren't fun, and that's kind of like 50% of No More Heroes is
uh-huh.
is the final encounter with the bosses. So
Hmm. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, that's like yeah, you're exactly right. It is about the boss fights in that game. Everything else is kind of like, well, you know what though? Like in No More Heroes 1, fighting the gangs of guys in suits, like in parking garages and stuff, I found that fun.
no, that
Um,
was fun, and even that part wasn't fun in Travis Strikes Again. Frankly,
oh man,
yeah, no, there was just
yeah,
no part of that game that was really all that fun. And I played through it and I beat it. Um, but I definitely didn't I definitely didn't 100% it. And when the credits roll and I saw all the there was all the story revealed and there's like a hidden trailer for No More Heroes 3 at the end of it. I was like, cool, and then I immediately deleted it off my Switch. Like I didn't even keep it on
so
my
there's,
card. Like yeah,
so there's no replay value to it at all. Is
no.
it
Once
just
I
like it's pretty
finished it, like for me, it was like cool, great. Now I'm never going to look at this again. So yeah, yeah. So
um
are you just in real time
so
changing the
okay, so
pen? Oh, just
yes,
curious.
that's
Like
all I
in
was
real
doing
time, you're
there.
just changing
Yeah,
the
nothing
pen
nothing
thickness.
too
Oh,
crazy.
okay, I
Just
gotcha. I gotcha.
yeah, so now I can get the smaller. Yeah, because I kept getting blobs, and so I wanted to just make sure
Yeah,
it was done
no.
right. Yeah, so something kind of fun I did instead of putting black as an outline for eyes, I put eyeshadow.
Yeah,
Do you think
okay.
that reads?
I mean, it reads
You
as
can
eyeshadow to
I can sell
me.
that on that. You think? Okay, all right.
It's yeah, it reads as
I was gonna
eyeshadow to
go
me.
actually for the obnoxious. So like, what if I went more obnoxious with eyeshadow? Like, what if I went like that? Let's see here. I'll copy the color.
My only
You know,
fear is if you get too close to her actual eye color, it just looks
yeah.
like
Then
her
everything
eyes
kind
are
of gets
oddly
wrong.
shaped. Yeah. I would
Yeah.
definitely want to create a bit of contrast between her eyeshadow and her eye color. But I think blue is a good color for her eyeshadow.
Good enough. I'm going back.
Okay. Yeah, I think that color works better.
All right. And I just noticed that my internet hiccuped a little bit. I don't know if you saw much on your end.
No, it looked clean on my side.
Okay, cool.
So yeah.
All right.
Um, but yeah, well, right now the magazine I'm working on is I'm doing an update to Roblox. I did a Roblox magazine, and now I'm doing an
Okay.
update to that. So it's interesting. Roblox is an interesting product. I love the spirit of sort of independent creation that it encourages. But
Mhm.
boy, howdy, you know what it proves to me is that um, left to people's own devices, they have no idea what good is.
What do you mean? Because of user generated content on there?
Yeah, it's just the games, and sometimes it's a stretch to even call them games. The stuff that's on it, because Roblox is a platform. It's not a single game. It's a set of really low bar, skill level bar game creation tools, and then a
Hmm.
hosting platform where you can host your creations. And it's very, very loosely moderated, for better or
Oh,
worse.
yeah.
Um, and the things that are incredibly popular on that game, on that platform, are crazy to me because they are, in a lot of instances, nearly unplayable. Um,
Mm.
but again, like it's not the primary demographic I see for Roblox are no more than about 12 years old, right?
Okay.
I don't see anybody. Game makers are probably older than that, but the people playing them typically, in my estimation, are no more than about 12. So
Okay.
I know that when I was 12 years old, I didn't have a really strong sense of what was good or bad. I was still learning that, but whoo,
Mhm.
man, there's a lot of garbage on Roblox.
But in defense of 12-year-olds, you can't expect too much, I guess, huh?
No, yeah, exactly. They're learning. I mean, it's actually um it's an interesting thing to go back and think about what I was really enamored with when I was that age versus what I am, enamored with now, and why that has changed, right? And
Mhm.
in a lot of instances, it's just purely experience. It's playing everything, good stuff, bad stuff, sort of through osmosis or diffusion, learning what worked, what didn't work, what felt good, what
Mhm.
felt bad, right?
Mhm.
It's a lifetime of experience that um, changed my perceptions, but not just mine. Everybody's perceptions are changed as they gain more experience in life. But it's just
Mhm.
interesting things that I go back and remembering loving when I was a kid, and then going, this is absolutely
Oh, man.
unplayable, right? Like as an
Yeah.
adult, like I cannot tolerate this.
Yeah. Um, what's the so okay? I think we've talked about this before. What is the basic premise of Roblox? Are you building robots out of blocks based on that title? What?
No, it's basically an open platform of game making tools, and they provide
Oh,
you with some rudimentary stuff to get you going, and the entire service lives and dies based on the games that its community makes and then distributes. And you can distribute the game for free and then do in-app sales. You can sell the game, and the constant across all of them is the currency, the platform currency called Robux, right? Which
okay.
you have to buy with real world dollars, and so that's how things get monetized. Um, and it's cool. I like the spirit of it. It feels very much like the Wild West of game development in a good way, and in a
Okay.
bad way, because what ends up happening is once a game finds an audience, like Welcome to Bloxburg, right, is a really really popular game on the platform. You'll type in Welcome to Bloxburg on the search parameter on the search field, and to
Hmm.
Roblox's credits, they populate that game to the top. But immediately after that, you'll see 30 clones, all with the exact same title
Hmm.
and this exact same game icon. Well, for the most part.
Mhm.
And if you didn't know any better, you could click on any one of those other ones and not be playing the actual game. You could be playing some sort of scam product. Now, because
So
you can't monetize with real world dollars directly through the games, it's somewhat protected, right? But
mhm.
still, like my nephew has talked to me about being scammed out of Robux because of fake games.
So it's its own little ecosystem
Mm-hmm.
with its own little currency to help you buy in-app purchases with their little Robux.
Mm-hmm.
Robux. I see. So that's what makes it different than like using a Unity game creation tool or anything else
Well,
out there. That
yeah, that and the fact that Unity's tools are far more open ended in terms of what you can create, right?
uh
I mean, Roblox. I'm impressed. Like the things that people have created with them. They've made first person shooters, RPGs, life simulators. The tools are robust enough to make all of these games. Like functionally make the games. They're, in my personal opinion, all ugly. Like they're just so ugly. It's just
is that
really.
because of the itself or you know?
I think if you got like a an art director who made $250,000 a year, right? And you put like if you put Epic Games on this and they made a Roblox game, it could look amazing, but
Okay, okay,
the work to make it look that amazing would not be worth the effort.
I see. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
So,
it's not. As near as I can tell, the platform is less about making the next AAA artistic masterpiece and more about a community of amateur game makers sharing their stuff with each other.
I see.
So, but in any case, it's fun to listen to my niece and nephew talk about Roblox and to kind of be a hero because like an old dude like me who knows Roblox, that's like, man, that's crazy.
That's great.
So yeah, they love that they have their uncle on their friends list in Roblox.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, I
you're gonna
am
be the talk of the
definitely the cool
community.
uncle. Definitely the cool uncle.
I think we're in good shape here
Yeah, it
with
looks that looks pretty good. That's
like
really nice.
all through talking with Roblox, we pretty much got Molly
And
and
Wanda
Wanda
there.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think she came together the last few minutes here as we're
Yeah, I was gonna
talking.
say like it felt a little bit rough at the start of the stream tonight, and then I blink and all of a sudden it's like, oh, there she is.
Yeah, it's crazy what a face will do. But
Yeah.
again, I was saving that. I knew exactly how her face was gonna go, so I was saving that for cherry on top moment because I had to figure out other stuff first. But I'm still not completely happy. But again, she's a background character, and I'll probably move on at this
Mm-hmm.
point and
Mm-hmm. Right.
back to Calamity.
Oh
But
wow, so you're saying we're
next,
selling out then, is what you're saying.
yeah, we are selling out. Well, you know what? No, it's not selling out. It's just me being artistically bored. Okay, I kind of pretty much
That
solved
makes sense.
everything
That's
at this
fair.
point.
That's fair.
But there's a more pressing matter I want to get to, and I'll probably save it for next week that we can
Okay.
discuss. We'll probably have a more active discussion on that versus talking about Roblox. I would think. So
Yeah. Well,
we'll see.
probably. I yeah. Well, that's
Uh,
good. You want to give us a teaser? We've got 2 more minutes before I'm going to call it tonight.
the teaser's going to be okay. I'll talk to you about it in Vapor. So with Calamity Jane, the way I've been designing her, let me open up her file here. I know I have it. She, oh, where is it here? There she is. Okay, we see her eyes here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, what if, like so far, how I have her pretty much looking anywhere is with the highlights of her eyes. Is
Mm-hmm.
how I always design her, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing I wanted to do was, for example, if she's like confused, her pupils were going to be the one that kind of indicate
Hmm.
that.
Oh, that works really easily.
Let's
Huh.
see,
Do you think
uh,
that that would be
or kind of give
too?
expression,
Yeah.
and of course. So, you know,
Oh, I lost you there. Could you say it again? Oh, 1 second, James. You're a little bit unstable.
okay,
Okay, I think you're back now.
okay. Anyway, so anyways, this is what I want to talk about next week, I think,
Okay,
and we can
yeah,
go.
yeah. Let's not go too deep into it because I think there's a lot of meat here to really dive in on and chew on for a little bit. But I
Yeah,
like where
but
your headspace is at. I'm curious to see what we can play around with there.
yeah. So I think, yeah, I want to kind of throw some ideas out there, and I want to discuss it with you, and then we'll see if the emotes are working or not. But anyway, so this is a really rough version of something. Like, let's say I'm having her talk, and she goes, "Huh?" Like now
Hmm.
the smile's wrong, so I got to change that, obviously. But it's going to take a little bit more time. We can't get into it tonight, but
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
that's what I want
definitely
to say.
something worth talking about. Okay, cool. Well, on that note,
Yeah.
I will wrap up here. As always, everybody, you can find us on Patreon. You can go directly to Patreon or just do calamityjane.rocks. We've got our site forwarded to our Patreon page. You can check us out on Facebook or YouTube, which is where presumably you're watching this right now. And otherwise, stay safe, everybody, and we'll see you next week at the same time.
All right, everybody. See you everybody next week. Make sure you vote tomorrow
That's
if you
right.
haven't yet.
That's right. All right, everybody. Have
Have
a
a
good
good
one.
one. Stay safe.
All right. Bye.
Bye.